Have you ever landed on a website and instantly thought something just feels off? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to show you how to run a web design audit from start to finish, and we'll use a real example website built with some very common design mistakes that a lot of businesses tend to make whenever they are building a website, especially by themselves. We'll look at layout, clarity, user experience, and how to turn a messy design into something professional and trustworthy. Let's dive right in. So here is our example website. This is Future Guard Advisory. Fairly standard. We've got a logo, some navigation, this big hero section, and some text as well. But right away, something feels a bit cluttered. There's no breathing space. Some text and images are too generic. Your website's first impression decides whether someone stays or bounces. And if a visitor can't instantly understand what you do, they'll leave, no matter how good that your service is. So for example, this hero area that we have here, the headline says, "We help you succeed." But succeed at what? It's vague. Always make your main heading specific and results driven, like digital strategy for small businesses ready to grow. Something engaging and something to show what value that you offer to potential customers and people just finding your site as well. When we take a look at structure, the layout in some areas feel a bit uneven. Spacing between the sections aren't consistent, some text blocks stretch too wide. Ideally, your content should stay within a clear container width around 1100 pixels max, so your eyes can scan everything comfortably. Also, white space isn't just empty space, it's what gives design good balance. In some of these sections, there's a lot of areas that are just packed tightly that can make the space feel a bit heavy, so spacing in design is what helps makes your messaging breathe. If you look at some of the headings, for example, a heading here, another heading to introduce this section, without that kind of clear hierarchy, the page feels a bit flat. Headings should visually guide the user. Think of them as signposts, not just bigger text. Navigation is the next bit, and looking at the flow of your page. Navigation, think of it as like a map when people are coming onto your website for the first time as well, or just even in general if they've been onto your website a couple of times. If you notice in this section here, there's too many links. Try to keep your main nav items 4 to 5 key items max, and everything else can kind of live in drop downs or in the footer as well. You'll notice also there's no sticky header, so when I scroll, the user loses their navigation basically. So simple usability fixes like that make a massive difference. And finally, adding a call to action. So you'll notice on some websites they'll have a really good kind of call to action in the form of a button in terms of a link. This is the main action button that you want people to do on your website, whether that's to buy now, shop more, make a get in contact, things like that. You want to make whatever the main action you want on your people to do on your website to be as easy as possible, and that also means creating some action buttons in your nav bar as well as throughout your text as well. If we look at the content and messaging, good design means nothing without clear messaging. So every line of copy that you add to your website should answer one of the 3 following questions. What do you do? Who is it for? And why should the user care? In a lot of these texts, none of this is obvious. Also notice how every section is very text heavy. There's no kind of icons, visuals, or call to actions breaking it up. Users scan, they don't read too much. You've got about 5 seconds to communicate your core messaging as well. And then you want to look at design, consistency, and branding. And that's where kind of a lot of sites fall apart, which is inconsistency. You'll notice that we have a few different font styles as we go throughout the page. We've got different color styles as well, and colors as well, and we've got different button styles as well. Even small inconsistencies make your brand feel less trustworthy. Think of your design system almost like a uniform. It should all match. You should have one primary color, an accent color, and a consistent heading and body fonts, and that's more than enough as well. Next part then is accessibility and UX basics. So accessibility isn't optional anymore, it's part of good design. The main thing that a lot of people have are things like images missing alternative text, form fields not having any labels, and also contrast colors as well. So for example, in this section here, the color for the paragraph on this part is very light. It doesn't read well against the light background as well. So you want to make sure all of these things can help improve your accessibility on your website as well. They will also improve your technical SEO. So let's do a quick recap. We've walked the site, we flagged some of the issues, and we've recommended some fixes. So let's zoom out and turn that audit into an action plan. I'll run through some key takeaways, why each one matters, and the exact fixes that you can implement right away. So first up is your first impressions. First impressions are ruthless. Users decide in a heartbeat whether a site's is worth their time or not, usually within 3 to 7 seconds. So your homepage needs to answer 3 things instantly: who you are, who you help, and what action you want them to take. If visitors don't understand your value straight away, they will bounce, and your conversion funnel never really starts. So the main thing you want to decide is if your site feels trustworthy. Avoid any clutter. Give your layout some breathing space. Use white space to help bring the balance back in design, making sure that there's even spacing between new sections and between different paragraphs and headings as well. And make headlines specific and benefit driven. Replace any vague headlines with specific outcomes. So for example, digital strategy that doubles your qualified leads in 6 months. That's very clear, very value driven as well. And use a single uncluttered hero, and make sure you have one clear call to action. Don't make people guess as to what it is that you want to do. You can add a short subline as well, one sentence that explains the target audience, and that will all help your first impressions, make a good first impression. Next part then is layout and structure. So good layout is invisible. It just lets people read, scan, and act without thinking about design. Bad layouts kind of fight the reader a bit. So it matters because poor structure hides your message and increases cognitive load as well. That means fewer leads and fewer engagement. So quick fixes for that would be to keep consistent spacing and alignment. Try and constrain your body text to a comfortable width, around 60 to 75 characters per line. In practice, aim for a max container of 1,100 pixels on desktop as well, and to help easy reading as well. Use consistent vertical rhythm, so treat spacing like a rule. So 16 pixels base, then 24, 32, 48 for larger gaps. Pick one scale and then stick to it, and use clear visual hierarchy as well. Headings should guide the user. Heading 1 will always be your main title, that would be that sits at the top of the page. Heading 2 could be for new sections, heading 3 for subpoints, so on and so forth. Size and weight should clearly step down as each heading goes down through the hierarchy as well. Next one then is navigation and flow. So as I mentioned before, navigation is the roadmap. If your map is messy, users will get lost. A confusing nav will lead to frustrated users and lower page views and fewer conversions. Some quick fixes for this: limit the top level navigation bar items to 4 to 5 core items. Put everything else in the footer, or use drop downs as well to kind of concise the space a little bit as well. Use descriptive labels like services is okay, but web design and SEO is better if that's what it is that you sell. Use sticky header for easy movement. Add a sticky header on longer pages so that the primary call to action is always visible, and it's also really easy for people to continue exploring your website as they're on it as well. And make your call to actions should be strong and action orientated as well. Things like book a free web audit or get pricing, start free trial, whatever it is. With the main action that you want users to take on your website, you want to have that clearly in front of them in a button that stands out. Number 4, you want to think about your content and messaging. Design supports copy, and copy is what will sell. If your copy is vague or corporate speak, design can only do so much. So clear messaging will help you convert. Any ambiguous messaging confuses, and it will cost you leads as well. Every question needs to answer either what or who or why. So lead with benefit-driven headlines. What problems do you fix, not what we offer. And avoid jargon as well, right? Like you're trying to solve a problem. Use icons like images, and the other visuals to help break up your text and your call to actions as well. And add like social proof as well near logos, like testimonials, quick stats, trusted by 200 SMEs, etc. Use scannable formats like short paragraphs, bullet points, bolded key phrases to help people scan. Don't kind of force the reading basically. And make audience explicit. So like for example, for small retailers using WooCommerce, that's a niche and it wins, and it helps you identify what your key target audience is as well. Next up, you want to focus on your design consistency and branding. That will help build trust through sameness, basically. So consistency equals credibility. Little inconsistencies ripple into a brand that feels a bit amateur and not as professional. Things like mixed buttons, colors and fonts that don't pair well create friction and reduces trust as well. Some quick fixes for that is to pick one primary color, one accent color, and a neutral palette, and use them consistently. A lot of web builders like Squarespace, Wix, Framer, they all allow you to set up what's called a color palette, where before you even get started building out your website, you'll pick out what colors and fonts that you want to use, and that helps maintain consistency as you're adding in new bits of text as well. The same thing goes with buttons and headings. Standardize those styles, keep the same radius, padding, and hover behavior for your buttons. Keep the same styling across all the different headings that there are as well, and lock in your font choices, one for heading, one for body, and use consistent weights only. Accessibility and UX basics. This will help you fix the easy wins. Accessibility isn't an option anymore. It's one of the what we call a ranking factor in SEO. It helps expand your audience. It reduces any legal risk and often improves UX for everyone. The main thing that you want to look out for is color contrast. Make sure that if you're using any dark fonts, it's paired against a light background. Similarly, if you have a light font, it's paired against a darker background as well. And add descriptive alt text to all your images in a way that uses keywords naturally. It's a win for accessibility, it's a win for SEO. Label all form fields correctly. Make sure that they have meaningful labels, meaningful error messages to help reduce any friction when trying to submit a form. And good accessibility will at the end of the day lead to better SEO and better user experience as well. You could also make interactive elements keyboard focusable and a little bit more obvious and things like that. Use tools like Lighthouse Report or Wavescan to help identify any common accessibility issues that you might not have noticed as well. So there you have it, folks. That's how you would run a web design audit, from that first impression all the way to accessibility and user experience. The goal isn't to nitpick design, it's to understand why something doesn't feel right and how to fix it strategically. If you find this video helpful and you'd like to find out a bit more, reach out through ProfileTree. We help businesses like yours turn underperforming websites into real growth. And if you like more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.